There's nothing wrong with it. It's the consciousness of it. It's the consciousness. If you just want, that's ridiculous. A spiritual mind wouldn't be like that. But if you want to be able to bless others, to have your family, I mean, I love my home. I use it to bring people in all the time. I have for the 30 years I've lived in my home. I can't tell you the parties. I've had at least 3 weddings at my house. You know, and I've had, you know, parties. I have my family in, my extended family in. That home has blessed me. But as that home blessed me, I bless everybody else. Because if I just had one little room on the back of this property, I couldn't do those things. So it's not just to have, but it's to bless and to use it for that unifying and loving. It's just been a blessing. Let's go to Hebrews 12 and 11. Most of you here have been to my house. I'm sure you have at one time or another, because I've had so many things there through the years. Hebrews 12 and 11 says this. Now, no chastening. Oh boy, didn't we think God was going to give it to us? But it says, no chastening for the present seems to be joyful, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterwards it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are what? Exercised thereby. There's an exercising that's going on in your life. First of all, anybody that tries to preach to you that God is angry or that God punishes, it's not truth. God is never angry, and God never punishes. God is love, period. The end of the story. You bring what we call punishment and chastisement upon yourself when you don't understand God's universal power, his universal laws. You bring that punishment, that chastisement on yourself by using the power in a wrong way, not understanding how to develop it. That's why we need to learn how to develop and use and exercise this divine power within us, that you bring those negative effects upon yourself. But what it says is, it's okay. Because as you see those negative effects in your life and you begin to exercise the power of that spirit, then it brings you back into that place of righteous fruit coming out. You see, we're exercising. Every day, right up here, you're exercising. You're either going to believe the truth or you're going to believe a lie. And sometimes to believe a lie, it means to push against it. It means that my son did not pick up a 2-pound weight and go like this to get the big muscles on his arm. He picked up a 5-pound weight, then he picked up a 10-pound weight, then he picked up a 150-pound weight. You know, he kept going, and that's what you're doing too. You know, those thoughts, you're pressing them away. It's that resistance. I'm not going to think that about somebody. I'm not going to believe I can't do that. I'm not going to believe I'm limited in this area. I'm not going to believe I'm never getting back with my family. I refuse to believe those things. And I am going to push them away. And as you do, you are building spiritual muscle. I'm not going to believe that I have to live in lack. I'm not going to believe these things. You see, it's by the exercising. It's good for you. But those chastisements are those mistakes that we make, those beliefs. They come from wrong beliefs that bring negative effects, beliefs that I'm limited, beliefs that I don't have the power. Spirit is an impartial force. Did you know that? Now, doesn't that sound not like God? But what does God say? I am no respecter of persons. I don't care, whatever, when you believe falsely and your mind is not in line with the mind of God, you're going to bring that negative things into your life. It is impersonal. There is universal, divine, spiritual laws. As a man thinketh, so is he. That's it. It's going to be like that. Whatever you're thinking is going to develop in your life. God said, I'm no respecter of person. His divine law is impersonal. He doesn't just say, well, she doesn't know, and I'm going to just overlook it. And, you know, she's going to think poverty and we're going to bring in wealth. Or she's going to think sickness and I'm going to bring in health. No. We are the God within. And when we have to tap into that God within you is going to bring out of you what you are believing. And it's going to demonstrate that in your life. We are growing up. We are really growing up. Can you see that? Things in this Bible that we believed years ago just don't coagulate anymore. They never did go hand in glove. But now we're beginning to see God doesn't change. My Bible says God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So those universal God within you, the power within you is unchangeable. It's how you develop it, how you understand it, how you exercise it. I mean, I've got to understand what that Spirit is really all about. And when I understand what that Spirit is really all about, I begin to flow in that Spirit. It's an awareness, an understanding of the Spirit that never changes. Think of electricity. I was trying to get an example of this. Think of electricity. Electricity is an impersonal force, isn't it? And it really is a divine force, because all fire and everything comes from God. It can bless you. It can light your house, turn on your computer, do all of these things for you, or it can curse you. It can kill you if used in the wrong way. Isn't that the truth? That's a great example. If you understand electricity, if you understand how electricity, you don't touch the wire that's open, you plug it in, you don't put a hairdryer in water. When you understand and you use it in the correct way, it blesses you. I mean, I don't want to go home to a dark home at 7 o'clock at night. You turn on your television, turn on your music, turn on your computer, do all these things. It can bless you, but if you use it in the wrong way, it can kill you. The same with the Spirit. It says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The only reason there's death, the only reason there's sickness, the only reason there's poverty, the only reason is because we do not understand. You know, we don't understand that divine power that's within every single one of us. And what we're doing is we're beginning to awaken to it. God punishes no one. The effects are of violating divine law. It's just like punishment. We learn to exercise those spiritual things. Let me see where else I want to go. Why, this is a question I want to ask you, why were the disciples with Christ 3.5 years? Why did they have to leave everything and come and walk with him and live with him and be with him for 3.5 years? Because he wanted to demonstrate. He wanted to demonstrate true power to them. He wanted to show them how to develop the Spirit within them. He wanted to show them how to exercise that Spirit. He wanted to show them what was possible in their lives. So they had to walk with him for 3.5 years. And he demonstrated those things. And when how it would yield positive fruit in their lives. The Scripture says we're learning by the power in this world. We'll never, let me see. Let me just get where I am here. Let's see where I want to go. Oh, okay, so how did he teach them? Let's ask, how did he teach them? He produced food, didn't he? Why did he feed the 5,000? He produced healings. He produced money. He reversed weather conditions. He ascended physical laws. He walked on water, didn't he? Yeah. Recently I heard about people that walk on fire, and I thought, why would they do that? But you see, it's a consciousness. It shows that the consciousness can raise above this physical dimension. Why did Christ walk on water? To show them the possibility. Physical laws cannot hold you. What you believe in this physical realm is not true. So he did all those things to demonstrate, to exercise that Spirit within him. This realm, this physical realm, gives us a place. It gives us a school. It gives us the dimension to exercise and understand and develop our divine power. Absolutely. You're here for a purpose. Yes. You're here for a great, awesome purpose. To remember, to develop your potential as a creator. You know, if you just sit around, you know, and don't create anything, just say, oh, I'm just satisfied. All my relationships are pure. I don't need another dollar. I don't need a healing. I don't need, you know, nothing. You're here to learn how to create, to develop that spiritual power within you. It's like laying dormant. Do you know it's within every man, woman, and child on the planet? But the question is it going to be developed? Is it going to be awakened? Is it going to become that fullness of the Christ life? It says until we grow up into the fullness of Christ. And that's what we're here to do. Let's go to Matthew 17:27. Matthew 17:27. Look what it says here. It says, notwithstanding, lest we should offend them, go to the sea and cast a hook and take up the fish that first comes to you. And when you have opened his mouth, you're going to find a piece of money. Take it out and go for me and go into them for me and for thee. You know what happened? They needed to pay customs. They had taxes to pay. So what did Jesus do? He manifested the money.